Hey guys, I'm Samantha with the Profitable Horse. I'm here to make you some money. All right. Like I said, my name's Samantha. I'm a CPA. I've been a CPA since 2013. I've been in the horse industry since, oh good Lord, 1992. Okay. I mean, that was just me learning how to ride. So it's been a couple of years. As a CPA, I worked in multi-billion-dollar organizations. I've worked in companies that are Fortune 500 organizations. I work at S&P 500 companies. I managed departments that were multi-hundred-million-dollar departments within those organizations. So um, I just want to kind of make the horse industry profitable, okay? Just a couple little side notes. I'm not a tax accountant, okay? My job was to guide businesses into making money and also saving money. So how do we save money? How can we be efficient? And the other side of that is how can we save a buck? Sorry, how can we make a buck? I do have a baby back here, just so we all know, so I'm a little distracted. My apologies, I may have to run off if he's not making too much noise. And just so you all know, this is general education content. This is not consulting advice for your business in particular. That's just the legal side of things. We are just starting out in this journey, so I hope these videos keep getting better and better for you guys. If you are enjoying them, if you want to see more content in order for us to make them better and better, like the video, subscribe to our channel, and comment. Okay, those comments, we're going to read them, we're going to customize them, and that helps us generate more content and make these things specific to you guys and what your needs are. Okay, why are we doing this? I want to bring profitability to the horse industry. Okay, there is nothing I despise more than hearing people say you can't make money with horses. Okay, people do it. How do they do it? Okay, that's what we're going to uncover. Really, what the problem is, we just have the wrong business models. Okay, you can't have a barn with 10 stalls and run a low cost model. Okay, it's not going to happen. That might be something that you can run in a 30 stall barn or a 100 stall barn, or hey, let's say you do have 10 stalls. Okay, you run 10 indoor horses. How can we increase profitability outside of that? Okay, is it going to be outdoor boarders? Is it going to be lessons? Is it going to be training and sales and brokering and whatever else is out there? Okay, maybe you have some expertise in body work or something like that, or clip it, right? Braiding, whatever it is. How are we going to do that? So that's looking at the different models and applying the right models to your business within the industry. Okay. What profitability isn't just making a buck. All right. We need to look at, are we making enough money to spend the appropriate amounts of money? Okay. So I'll give you an example. I was in a period where I was training horses, loved it. Just showing up to my day job with a broken rib after a horse has stepped on my back, a concussion here and there, wasn't really working. I was making a lot of money in my day job, couldn't afford to take the risks required in this scenario. So, but during that time, there's a girl that I was working with, and we had a training horse coming in, and she offered to go pick up the horse. And first words out of my mouth, what did you charge? $50. This horse is an hour away. Just to give you some perspective. $50 is maybe going to cover the gas. It's not going to cover her time. It's not going to cover wear and tear on the truck. It's not going to cover wear and tear on the trailer, truck payments, trailer payments, whatever. The shavings that are going into the back of the trailer, okay? It's not covering those costs. So it's not just making a buck, it's making the right amount of bucks, plural, okay? Also, what this isn't is tax deductions, okay? Being profitable isn't spending money to get a tax deduction. If you're spending the money because you need to, all right? You only get taxed on your profitability, all right? So your income minus your expenses is your profitability. That's what more or less what you're getting taxed on, okay? So don't go out and spend money just for the tax deduction. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Don't worry about getting into the next tax bracket. What do I mean by that is, just 1 second, I gotta fall on bait. All right, disaster averted for now. So tax bracket. Okay. Do not worry about going to the next tax bracket. At the end of the day, if you're going to the next tax bracket, you're making more money, good for you, right? Be proud of yourself. I have never stopped succession in my career because I was going to make more money. Like, boo-hoo, poor me. Okay. Pat on the back. I get further in my life. All right. That's what it comes down to. Now, that saying, still use appropriate spending, track your expenses and write them off. Okay. That we don't want to be paying taxes on things that we shouldn't be. All right. So that comes down to accounting, working with your bookkeeper, or just maintaining decent revenue. Okay. Keep it simple. All right. But do it. But if you're making more money, if you're being more profitable, you're going to the next tax bracket, give yourself a pat on the back. All right. So here's how taxes work. Now, I'm in Canada. It might be a little bit different in the US. I'm not a US tax accountant, not a US accountant at all. But here's generally how they work here in Canada. Let's say below this amount, you're getting taxed at 30%. Okay. Now you make this much money and now you're going to 40%. You're only paying 40% on this amount and 30% on this amount. Okay. You're not paying 40% on all of it. Okay. You're just paying 40% here. Everything here has not changed. So if you make a little bit more money, you're just getting taxed a little bit more on this portion. Okay, not all of it. Common misconception that I've literally heard, if I can speak properly, heard accountants say, all right, they didn't understand their own tax system. So if accountants can screw it up, so can you. So I'm not blaming anybody here, all right? I just want you guys to be clear, and I don't want you to be afraid to make more money, all right? So this is going to be hard work, okay? You're going to have to find the numbers. You're going to have to face the numbers. You're going to have to wear many hats. Now, one thing I didn't mention about my background's also in sales, okay? I worked in accounting. That was the start of my career. I've also worked in sales. I pretty much spent the same amount of time in both, all right? Loved both. I was really, really, really good in accounting. I love sales, all right? So that's where we come down to. And I just want to see you guys be successful in your businesses. So you're going to wear many hats, all right? You're going to be a horse trainer. You're going to be a therapist. You're going to be an accountant. You're going to be in sales, all that stuff, okay? Now, I want you to look to save a buck. The quickest path to be making money in this business, disaster. All right, I think I got a minute or two left. So I want you to save a buck, okay? Look for volume discounts, look for things used, look for wholesale things rather than retail, okay? If you're gonna go out and buy 40 buckets, can you get them wholesale, all right? You might spend half. Look for discounts, look for sales, like whatever it is, guys. It's those little things that are gonna add up. There's an old, I think it's an English saying, what is it? Save a penny to make a pound. That's what we come down to. You're going to have to sell. Okay. Learn to sell. And that's not just selling a horse. Okay. Selling your services as well. Asking for the sale. Is this a place that you see yourself coming to? No. Okay. Out of 10, how would you rate us? You're an 8. Okay. What would make us a 10? Oh, if you had a shelter in the field. Maybe you've got some old shelter kicking around that the horses don't use or whatever, or it's in the back of the barn, you've been meaning to fix it up. Fix it up, throw it in the field. Guess what? You're now a 10. Congratulations, right? Pat on the back again. Understand your numbers. I need you guys to know your numbers, okay? If I said to you, what is your gross margin per horse? I want you to know it, okay? If I want to ask you how many horses you have to have on the facility in order to break even, you should know it, okay? If I want to know what next year's board increase is going to look like, you should know it, okay? There's all these things. What do you charge per kilometer for trailering? You should know those numbers. All right, we got a little man with us. You should also know how much money is in the bank account at any given time. Okay. You need to know these numbers. Now, this isn't something, I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I don't want you to panic. I want you to sit there and say, okay, one thing at a time. And what will happen as far as knowing your numbers, that's just going to come with you doing it repetitively. Okay. You're going to know it. It's okay. It's going to be hard work. You're going to get overwhelmed. You might cry in the corner. Probably going to hate me. All right. That's okay. You can hate me first. I'm okay with it. Expect hard work. Expect to spend some time on this. Expect to revisit it often. Okay. That's okay. The beauty of all of this is that we're going to have success together. Okay. So get your numbers together, get prepared. We're going to buckle down and we're going to get this done. Okay.